North Wales, known for its rugged wilderness and tough weather conditions. Today, on the footpaths of Iroidfa, the sun is shining on 3,000 trail runners competing in the Ultra-Trail Snowdonia by UTMB, an event part of the UTMB World Series, the world's ultimate trail running circuit. Through mountain ridges, epic single tracks, and untamed countryside, we will follow extraordinary humans and top elite runners on their journey to the finish line.
We're here in Eryri, the national park in North Wales, and we are here with Ultra-Trail Snowdonia by UTMB. We have 4 races across the event weekend. So the first race we have started just a short while ago, which was the 100-mile race through the national park. We also have a 100k race, a 50k race, and then a 25k race. And for this year, we have an expanded kids race on Friday. So we have different terrain out there on the course, ranging from very lush, long grass fields and inclines and declines through to some very technical sections through the more challenging parts of the mountains. There's also some bogs, which in the wet weather can be pretty tricky to navigate, but right now the conditions are improving, so they might not be as wet as they were a few weeks ago. But from a technical point of view, it is a technical race. You'll find that quite a lot of the runners will use poles, and they might be actually on their hands and feet trying to get over some of the more challenging sections.
Runners on the 103-kilometer and 6,400-meter vertical route leave Llanberis. They make their way up the first of 7 climbs, Snowdon. After one of the more technical descents to the first aid station at Penny Pass, runners head back up across to the Glitterai, known for its stunning views but very technical terrain. After aid station 2 at Glenzana, runners have another steep climb and then onto a long and tough section across Carnavai. Aid station 4 awaits them at Capel-Curig, approximately the halfway point. The 100-kilometer route heads back out to the summit of Mael Shapov before it bends back around to Questatanas farm. Runners progress back up the mountain on their second ascent of Snowdon. After aid station 6 at Bronnefeld, they start the final loop before the home straight. Whilst not as high, runners shouldn't underestimate the last 2 climbs. Just a final descent into Llanberis and through to the finish line.
Gauthier says the course is awesome, the park is beautiful, he can't wait to explore it. To not get hurt and have fun. That's my strategy. Being careful. After a 5 a.m. start from Llanberis, and as the sun rises over the Snowdon Massif, the frontrunners immediately set the pace on the first climb of the course up Polifglas. While Canadian Christian Meyer takes a short lead, a group of 7 runners is chasing him in the descent to Penny Pass.
Hi, my name is Philipp. I'm 31 years old, coming from northern Italy, South Tyrol, living now in Austria, near Innsbruck. And I'm here for the first time in Wales, running the magic Snowdonia, and super excited and can't wait to start the race. I choose Snowdonia as one of my main goals for this year because they told me that the conditions are really tough, so a lot of rain, difficult trails, and now sun is out, crazy times, but nevertheless we try our best. And yeah, I saw a little bit of the trails so far. I'm quite sure it's going to be a technical race, tough. Not so fast as the other ones, but I'm trying my best and I will push.
Hello, my name is Daniel Jung. I'm from Italy. I'm 40 years old and I live in the north of Italy, so close to the mountains, so I'm a really mountain guy. And yeah, I run for Team Ultra Alpen Plus, and I like to compete here very hard and fast in this beautiful terrain. So I come here because I think Snowdonia is a good place to fight. I prefer the technical terrain, so I think I'm here right. I choose Snowdonia because I was already in Scotland, and I think here it's a little bit same, the nature and underground and the mountains. For me, it's a big passion, not only go for race, also to explore, to visit new areas, because I think trail running is a beautiful sport and it's a big chance for us elite athletes to go around the world. And I think we live only one time, and this life we have to enjoy, and this is some part for me to enjoy my life. Yeah, I come here with Philipp. He's an Italian guy, he lives in Austria. We are friends also in the race, but I think we have to do our own race, and it's also about the feeling.
My name is Hugh and I'm a runner looking to take on the 100K tomorrow. So I think the race tagline uses the word savage, and I think that's a pretty good adjective for the terrain that the runners are going to find tomorrow. We had a hot day last year and it's looking set to be hot again tomorrow, which is quite rare for North Wales where it normally rains and pours. But I think that's going to be a significant challenge, tough underfoot, and it's going to be hot through there. Probably the last section is the easy bit underfoot, but that's after having run 90 odd K. So starts with a relatively gentle climb up Snowdon, and then from there the terrain gets pretty bad and pretty rough underfoot. Steep climbs, every time you've gone up a hill you head down and you head up the next one, so it's pretty relentless.
I'm Gauthier Boncarre, I'm 31 and I live in the French Pyrenees in Bagnères de Bigorre. I started carefully, I think. We formed a group of 4 people pretty early. And I knew Danny and Philipp were both Italians living probably in the same region. They look pretty friendly together. So I thought that would be nice if we could stay as long as we could in a group of 4 with Marcin.
Celebrating its 6th edition in 2024 with a record-breaking 3,000 runners from more than 65 nationalities, Ultra-Trail Snowdonia by UTMB has become a global gathering, welcoming international athletes, UK trail runners, and the local Welsh trail running community who share the same goals, challenge themselves to cross the finish line.
My name is Louise Brookwell. I'm a 44-year-old mum of 3 from North Wales. I'm a clinical psychologist in the NHS. We decided, right, we really need a challenge that's local and that kind of brings into our passion of the mountains.
My name's Simba. I am a mountain and trail runner based in the UK. So I love the trail running community. Trail running is kind of a massive part of my life. A massive challenge for me, and I just want to see if I can do ever so slightly better.
The stunning Snowdon Massif is the perfect backdrop for today's race at Ultra-Trail Snowdonia by UTMB. Maintaining a high pace since the start of the UTS 100-kilometer race, international elite runners Michał Rajca, Philipp Osterhofer, Daniel Jung, and Gauthier Boncarrère are at the front of the pack after 30 kilometers of racing. Followed by local UK runners. Familiar with the course, having finished 4th last year, Hugh Chatfield is lurking in 7th position. After sizing up their competitors, Italian runners and friends Philipp Osterhofer and Daniel Jung take the lead halfway into the course. They're now alone at the front of the race at Cuesta Danas farm at the 63-kilometer mark. Gauthier Boncarrère is only 7 minutes behind the leaders. Thanks to his course knowledge, Hugh Chatfield climbed up the classification, now in 4th place.
My name is Louise Brookwell. This will be my first 100k distance, yeah. Myself and my friend Rachel, who's like my training partner, we decided to kind of have another foray with running, and we really enjoyed it. We decided, right, we really need a challenge that's local. Yeah, the maximum we did is 50 miles so far, so this is going to be a real challenge. We thought it'd be the opportunity to kind of meet, all the other runners, contribute to the day, so we can do a bit of fanning of the elite runners as well and kind of watch the start. So we just thought it'd be a great opportunity to volunteer as well.
In this is your number for the front of your drop bag. You can drop that off at the start, anytime before the race.
Rachel is a little bit quicker than me, so it's always me following in her footsteps, but she's been like my support throughout the training, and we plan to cross the finish line together.
My name is Rachel Sargent, I'm 39 and I am a local mum of 3 running the UTS 100k. We've pretty much trained. There hasn't been a week gone by, even when we were pregnant, that we haven't trained together. I've had another child since and we've still trained, and she's got me through that as well, and getting back into it after having him. We just thought it'd be a great opportunity to get to meet the people, get into the atmosphere, calm a few nerves before race day. I think for us choosing the 100k, it's just that extra challenge. We knew that we could run the distance for the 50k. I know the train is a challenge, but we just thought let's just push it that extra bit further, because we know if we achieve it, it'll just be a great feeling to get through it and to still have our friendship at the end of the day. I think as long as we can communicate by the end of the day, we'll be happy. So Louise says that I drag her along, but she slows me down. I would go out way too hot.
After covering 24 kilometers in 5 hours and 25 minutes, Louise and Rachel arrive at the first aid station with assistance, where they meet their families who have come to support and help them.
We feel like we've got the worst descent out the way now. It's really technical and pretty screen, and so there's lots of like slippage. But I feel like confident now going into the next day. I quite like this bed, so it's a nice ridge along the top, so feeling good. Now I've had some watermelon, which is lovely. The heart is eating that. Have I got any electrolytes left? Louise, I've got okay, so I've got one, two.
And you've got 2 in that pack for you.
Just if those one days, one eat fill that, yeah. Good. I will. See you soon.
We leave Louise and Rachel to continue their journey through the stunning Welsh vistas and head to the front of the women's race, where Aleksandra Narkovic is in the lead.
It's wonderful. The start was really beautiful because the weather wasn't hot yet. So I really enjoyed the uphills and downhills, and then it was kind of, I had down time. It was the section with no water for the longest, I think 18 kilometers. So I struggled with, because the water went very quickly. What is my advantage, and so like try to run on the flat, and it depends on the terrain, just take it easy on the technicals and maybe faster on the easy ones.
Leading the women's race from the start in Chamberes, Aleksandra Narkovic from Poland continues her solo run at the front, slowly climbing up the overall ranking. Brit Alicia Schwarzenbach is a few minutes behind. She's followed by fellow runner Tess Elias.
My usual, kept an eye on the time, but was feeling pretty good up until Capelcurig. And yeah, I'd been sort of back and forth with third place. And she was faster on the descents, I was faster on the climbs, and we sort of kept having this little chat. And then, yeah, I just kind of managed to keep up a steady pace and, get through that hot part, and then felt really good from Ridley, and I think just put in a bit more time there. And you get kind of runnable sections and technical sections, and it's just a really good mixed course.
So here in Snowdonia, yes, I think poles would give somebody a strong advantage in the race. On the uphill sections, being able to use your arms and not just focus on the legs all the time is a really good thing.
I will use the poles because I'm a classic pole runner.
The rules are if you start with them, you have to finish with them. So there's no cheeky drop off halfway or pick up halfway.
There can be a bit of a pain if it's a race where there's more running, but for this, there's a lot of up and down, so I'll always have them out, I think. Every impact with the ground, force is going through your knees.
Once you have the poles in the downhill, it's not a good sign. If you're strong enough and fit enough, normally you put them away in the downhill. If you get tired in the last part of the race, then maybe it could help you even in the downhill.
Not planning on using poles. Louise very kindly bought me some for Christmas, but we just haven't felt the need for them on the training runs that we've done. Even up to 50k, my legs have felt quite fresh, so I'm hoping that they will see me through double the distance.
I haven't trained with them. I might have a backup pair just in case with me.
I've run 3 or 4 ultras before, big mountain ultras without poles, and my coach and some mates I train with were like, why don't you get them? And I say, well, it's mechanical doping, you know, you're cheating, you're using a machine. But yeah, I'm going to try them out tomorrow. I'm excited because it'll be a new thing in my racing. They're a bit of a faff. They're like, you know, you have getting them in and out of a quiver or out of a strap on your back is a bit of a faff. But after 6 and 7, 8 hours going up and down the hills, I think I'm going to save a bit of energy in the legs that will pay off later.
I feel really comfortable and strong with poles. I would say maybe 80% of my training's with poles, so I will take them with me for sure.
I train also a lot with poles, not only in running, also in ski mountaineering, so in the winter. So yeah, my body is used for this. I'm not skinny, I'm more a muscle runner, and so this is, yeah, it's for me a big advantage to have the poles on my side. I feel when I have the poles, I'm not so tired, so fast in the legs. So for me, it's a very big advantage and brings me, of course, 20% more of power.
Ultra-Trail Snowdonia by UTMB has 4 main race formats to give everyone the opportunity to challenge themselves on the trails. Take Simba, for example, who is running the 50-kilometer distance.
My name's Simba. I am a mountain and trail runner based in the UK. I live in Brighton, that is on the south coast of England. I live in quite a pancake flat part of the UK, so lots of my work is done on the treadmill and finding as much elevation as I can, like where I live. I think the freedom that trail running kind of gives me and just that kind of peace of mind. Like I love sometimes just being out by myself, just in the mountains by myself, or at an event like this surrounded by thousands of other runners all trying to do the same silly thing. Black Trail Runners is a UK-based charity whose goal is to increase participation of black people in trail running. The founders all kind of realised that there was kind of an issue that we're looking at trail races, looking around, and kind of either there were no other black people, or we knew the black person who was there. Being the only black person at the start line, like you ask questions, but why? If you look at the black population in the UK, a lot of it is kind of centralised around sort of cities and urbanised areas. Say, I grew up in the countryside, so I kind of got used to being the only black person in any circumstance or situation. But then, say, go to a race or environment which is kind of slightly different to you, then it can be very intimidating. From my perspective, I grew up in the countryside, so I grew up in a rural part of England, and I always grew up sort of running through woods, running up hills, and that was always a massive part of my life. And I wanted to do what I could to kind of share that passion with the rest of the community. We've created a race which has got a very sort of different look and feel to other trail races which you see in the UK. I think that's really important, because what you're seeing is a critical mass of people entering the sport, but what it is giving people the entry and the gateway into a sport which, say, the founders and the trustees love, and we're kind of sharing that and growing that sport within our community. The one thing that I can do is kind of try and address that representation part. So kind of as a trustee, going out, speaking to people, spreading the message, and kind of really trying to be an advocate for black people in trail running, and just giving people role models and people to look up to.
After 50 Ks, we are in 4, and we was in the drop back aid station, and there was the Poland guy, and he was a little bit faster on the change. I think he started 1-2 minutes in the front of us out from the aid station.
And they pushed really hard in the uphill after Capel Quick. And we were able to follow and to increase the speed once again, and I think there we made the difference.
Well, we find our rhythm, and I see, okay, look, he feels not so really good, and also the French guy, the Gaudier, he looks also not so fresh, and then I decide, okay, now we have to make an attack, and then we come in the front of the Poland, and when we catch him, we open more gas, and this was then maybe a little bit psychical.
On the top, we pushed the speed to the downhill, and there we could open quite a gap.
They've attacked kilometer 55, I think. Marcin fell down a little, and it was very hot at that moment. I was struggling as well with the heat and eating too much sugar, I think, at that point. So I thought it would be clever to, step down a little. And then I think the gap, they created a 10-minute gap at that point, which stayed approximately the same in the end.
I didn't have a goal to win. I wanted to enjoy myself and see how hard I can push. If I will have a feeling that my body is working well, then I can push a little bit more and maybe try to have some good place. I was like why am I first? I don't want to be first. Maybe I'm going too quickly, but then I thought, no, this is my pace, so I just go with my pace. The climb to Snowdon was really hard, and you have no shadow, nothing.
I'm actually pretty terrible in the heat, and it was incredibly hot by Welsh standards.
I think everybody struggled with that. There were a lot of people like laying down on the route or vomiting. I felt very sorry for them.
Ultra was a bit miserable, and if you'd seen me then and asked me how it was going, I would have told you it was terrible.
Hey. Hey. How are you? We're done today.
Sorry?
I'm DNF today. No. Yeah. I'm gonna sit down, give it 5 minutes, see how I feel, but I like a bit of virus after, still coming off a virus, body's just not playing ball. I mean, I could do this all day, but UTMB's in 15 weeks, so I think this was all the training I needed to do.
And how was the last climb? It was hard?
Yeah. I mean, it's always hard. I mean, like I've done it before.
I'm a shoot. Well done.
While Simba's race is over this time, the competition is still on at the front of the 100-kilometer race. Hugh Chatfield is now on his way up to the second ascent of Snowdon, just a few meters ahead of Keith Wigley. Down the climb, Philipp Osserhofer and Daniel Jung reach the last aid station with assistance at Brønnøyfjord with 20 kilometers to go.
I knew there was the group of two, Philipp and Danny, in front of me, and a group of two British people in my back as well, with Keith and Hugh. I just couldn't chill to the finish line, so I kept on going.
I would say it in general, as the trail running community, there's always a support for each other. It helps you a lot if you are together, finding the way. You save just lots more energy if you are together. But of course, we look always to each other since we're close friends. And Danny has a big role in my trail running career, as he is sort of my mentor. I learned a lot of him during the last years, and we were on the starting line a few times now, and I was always the loser. But now I'm really happy that we finished together.
But we are fighting really until the kilometer 97. It was really the last short uphill. And there, okay, we are together, and then we say, okay, today we'll win the friendship and we will share this victory together.
Establishing a new course record by 46 minutes, Philipp and Daniel crossed the finish line hand in hand in 12 hours, 41 minutes, and 20 seconds.
Yeah, I can tell you, the race was really amazing. The landscape was incredible. I like it so much to run here with these mountains, these lakes. Very hard and tough race, but some of the best race what I did in my life.
Crossing the line with my training partner Keith. We run a lot together, we recce the course together, we raced each other last year. We both had the lead on each other at different points today, and then we ran the last two checks together, but we were still pushing hard. So yeah, delighted with the time, delighted with the day, and impressed by the two Italians.
Now at an impressive 12th place overall, Aleksandra slowly but surely has worked her way up through the rankings to be in first position with a healthy lead. Second in the women's race, Tess Elias arrives at Bernifed aid station 1 hour after Aleksandra. With 20 kilometers to go, the women's third place position is far from being determined. Still in third position at this time, Alicia Schwarzenbach is powering through the discomfort of trail running. Yelena Malyaseva from Lithuania is not far behind. Georgina Lewis had a major comeback, taking the field by surprise.
Difficult. The middle of the day was too warm for me, so I was struggling a lot on the uphills. No, it's beautiful, but very, very technical and very tough uphills. Yeah.
My most hopeful moment that maybe a top 5 would be possible. So second is like unbelievable. I'm so happy. Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant. I had a great day. Like, I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but everything was like faultless. It was perfect. Really, really good day. All the volunteers, everyone out on the course, it was fantastic. Couldn't fault it. If I got in the top 10, that'd be fantastic. I was thinking, oh, if I finished by midnight, that would be brilliant. And done a lot better than I thought, so I'm really pleased, yeah.
But most runners will have to run through the night before reaching the finish line.
When I knew that we had to go up Snowdon in the dark, that was one thing I was like, please, can we just get up Snowdon in the light? And then the light started to fade as we were going up, and it's quite technical up Snowdon, and it's a bit scary. We've done it before in the daytime, but with poor visibility, and we knew that we didn't want to do it. But actually it was okay. We were with a really nice group of people.
Glad to be here. Just the last bit to get done now, so feeling quite confident I can finish it.
This way? Obviously, When you go into a race, you know you're going to do it together. I think for me, I didn't really manage my expectations very well before the race, and it was at times you're just like, oh, you're getting annoyed, but then thinking about it, everyone has got a different tactic on how they do their race. And actually, on that last hill, we were both struggling, walking up that hill. So at the end of the race, we were both on exactly the same playing field. So we were there together at the end, struggling up the last hill and down it.
For Louise and Rachel, these are the final kilometers of their extraordinary journey after over 25 hours on the trails.
UTS would not happen without our wonderful event team, so we're really grateful for the 300 volunteers we have this weekend helping put on the show, ranging from people at aid stations, our drivers at the start and the finish, helping with registration and bag check. Without those volunteers, UTS would not be able to happen, so from me to them, a huge thank you to everybody involved. Also the support of the local communities to allow this event to take place, especially Ururi National Park, Gwynedd Council, Conwy Council, and all of the local residents that we meet on our way round.